News anchor Madonna, the favorite queen of pop music Madonna's story, which is far from the eyes of millions of lovers, and the world admires the queen of pop music. Let's get to know Madonna better together. Madonna, the darling of millions, was born in Bay City, Michigan in 1958. The birth of a Michigan girl began in these years. Her family was one of 6 children whose parents were Catholics. Madonna's mother and father and her family were a family that adhered to disciplined traditional religious values. And when Madonna was a 5-year-old child, the death of her mother shattered Madonna. Madonna, who lost her mother, began to grow up in her teenage years in a rebellious stance, a passion for independence and an emotional turmoil. When her father married someone else, the dynamics in their home began to change. Her inability to warm up to her stepmother became a factor that caused her to start living alone in the house. Her loneliness during this period pushed her to express herself better in areas such as art and dance. While Madonna, who was a very disciplined student, was able to study modern dance at the University of Michigan with the scholarship she received, Madonna had different thoughts in her heart. A young person who was burning like a fire wanted much more. She had to do it. This fire in her heart made her decide to live in New York when she was only 19 years old, when she had only $19 in her pocket and moved to New York. Madonna says, "For the first time in my life, I got on an airplane. For the first time, I took a taxi. For the first time, I came to a big city like New York. This city scared me a lot, but at the same time, it taught me about life." In New York, Madonna was trying to survive in this big city by modeling and waitressing while studying dance. Madonna's daily life was very hard. The house where she lived was cold, lack of money, hunger, often having to sleep on the streets. But no difficulty would discourage Madonna. Her dreams were really quite big. By 1982, the doors of fame would slowly open for Madonna. Her first single, Everybody, was released. And with this single, which made a lot of noise in the clubs, attention was drawn to Madonna, followed by Holiday, Lucky Star, and Borderline, which made her the name of the new generation. In 1984, with the album Like a Virgin, she really exploded. MTV frequently aired her stage performances. Millions of young people imitated her style. Madonna became a star who marked an era not only with her music, but also with her style. Her clothes and lyrics that challenged the church, her sexual freedom statements that she made conservative segments against Madonna, attracted great reactions. These reactions made Madonna more talked about and attracted more attention. Madonna was a star who always managed to be at the top between 1980 and 1990. Her private life was constantly being targeted by the media. Her love life, her family, and the choices she made were always making headlines. For Madonna, fame was sometimes like a life like a cage, perhaps. Madonna is a woman who has defied the years. The years 2000 witnessed the rebirth of Madonna. Her album Ray of Light received full marks from critics, and people met a very different Madonna. Now Madonna is a more mature, more alive, but still a defiant woman, but her difficult days at the end of the 2000s would not be limited to art. Her second marriage to Guy Ritchie was very often on the agenda, with crisis marriage news in the media. Madonna's divorce in 2008 was a very difficult process for Madonna, both emotionally and legally. As if these problems were not enough, Malavi also caused her to be publicly judged many times because of the children she had adopted. Even the favors Madonna did were often interpreted very differently. Madonna, the symbol of the eternal return, was reborn hundreds of times over the years. Aesthetic criticism, her battles for age discrimination, her struggle to exist in the digital age, never gave up, although every period changed. Sometimes she was knocked down and sometimes she was praised to the skies, and she would repeat these words, "I am a survivor. Giving up is not for me." Madonna's life is not just a story of success. It is also a story of loss, of pain, of resistance, and of rising again. Madonna saw herself not just as an artist, but as someone who wrote her own destiny. That's why millions still love her, and that's why she is still here. The Madonna story teaches us a lesson. Be yourself. Don't be afraid. Make your voice heard, and never give up. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our News Ember channel, and see you in new stories.